Hello, Todd Clemens, Okeechobee Livestock Market, and here's your weekly market report. We were off last week. It was spring break. Hope all you guys had a good week. School was out, I suppose. Kids were running around, and a lot of people took off vacations. Hope everybody got settled back in. Hope you had a good time. We were off last week too. The market wasn't, but we had a good trip. But things kept going on here. Business as usual. We had a pretty decent run of cattle this week. Numbers are lower, but it's what's expected this time of year. I think we had about 800 Monday and around 700 Tuesday, so 1,500 head or more for the week, which is pretty usual. And the sales are getting off pretty early, 3:30, 4 o'clock, and we're through. So don't be late, and you may miss the sale. If you're late on Monday, it's not a problem. We can sell them Tuesday, but if you're late on Tuesday, we don't have a sale on Wednesday. So get here early. Get here as soon as you can. Numbers are down, but prices are up. We kind of thought this might happen as high as things seem to be. It looked like it was a little bit higher this week. Beef demand is good. Retail prices are high. People are still buying beef, and there's not as many cattle on feed. We're working our way through those cattle in the feedlots. Numbers are down. Cattle inventory is still low. We've hit, I think, record high box beef prices. Choice cutouts were, I think, around $3.30, which is just extremely high, but meat's still moving. And as long as that happens, these calf prices are going to continue to be good. We kind of figured that it might happen and there would be a little bump in the market. Now, whether it's going to stay there or not, it's kind of hard to say. We're still working our way through the tariffs, the new tariffs with Canada and Mexico and China. Some of these trade deals that we've had negotiated or have been negotiated in the past for beef exports to some of these countries, some of those contracts are coming up and going to have to be renewed, I guess, or worked through. So we'll see kind of how that's going to play out. But for the most part, I believe the tariff deal is factored into the market, but there's still always the chance of some things happening out there that we can't see. But for now, calf prices were higher and are really good. I don't know, those 3-weight calves, the 3-weight number one steer calves are bringing $1,500, and the heifers are right around $1,200 to $1,300. So that's a good ticket for little calves. We're seeing a lot more of them than we are the heavier weights nowadays, but demand is really good as these numbers tighten up. These guys are wanting these calves, and you see them come through the ring, and the prices these buyers are paying for these calves, and then you try to do the math on what they're going to have in that animal by the time it gets ready to the maturation process, to the end of the line where they turn into meat at the retail level. That's going to be a lot, and we'll see what happens. Fat cattle have traded for the highest they've ever traded for. I think last week while we were gone, they traded some cattle for $2.12 a pound, live coming out of the feedlot, which really good. And those cattle are weighing, I guess they're weighing around 1,400 pounds. So that's pretty good bit of money there for one animal. And you can back that into what these calves are bringing, and I guess maybe it's at a kind of a break-even point. I think feed costs are relatively, compared to high cattle prices, feed costs are down, a little bit lower. I think fertilizer prices are about steady compared to maybe what it was last year. Input costs are still high, but these cattle, I think these cattle prices are going to be at this level here for quite some time until this herd builds up. And there's a lot of herd building up to do. We're at our shortest inventory we've ever seen, I guess, since we've been keeping track of it. And it's kind of iffy if these cattle inventory numbers are even going to get up to the level where we have been in the past. And when you add inflation to all that, I think these calf prices have reached another level that hopefully they'll stay there long enough, or maybe for a while, you know, for the ranchers and the producers to make a decent profit and stay in business. And then that's how it's sustainable, isn't it? Make a profit, stay in business, keep that land held together. That's what cows do. They hold the land together, and they keep green space out there. Been reading some stuff coming out of Tallahassee, some bills that are introduced. I can't make heads or tails of them. They're written like you have to have a law degree to read them, so I don't know. I'm a little confused, but we were pulling up this bill that was introduced that's going to maybe make it easier for people to convert ag land to development land, where they don't have to go through permitting stages, and make it just a whole lot easier to turn green space, oxygen producing, air producing, good healthy green land to more pavements and more development, which that's not what we want to hear, and I don't know. We'll see what we can find out about that, but I think that's under the radar. There's some of these bills they introduce up there in Tallahassee, even in Washington, just don't make any sense. And like I said, you got to have a law degree to read them, and I think they write them like that so we can understand what's going on. I don't know. It's a mess. But yeah, it's we're back in business. Spring is just around the corner. Grilling season will be here before you know it. We had some good rain yesterday, which we needed. A lot of people got a couple inches of rain. Some people got only 2/10, but if you were in the right spot, it was pretty good. We'll take whatever we can get right now because it's the dry time of the year, and this grass is wanting to green up, and a little bit of rain showers are going to help things out. And those calves are growing right now and putting on a lot of pounds every day, and their mamas are working pretty hard, just trying to hold on and stay up there where they can take care of those calves as they grow on out. So rain is good. We have coming up, it's a little bit a ways off, but the last week of April, Producers Cattle Auction is going to have a pretty good sized sale. A lot of people are ready to pull the trigger on their calves and kind of antsy to get them sold, to get this good price. But we have a sale scheduled for the last Thursday in April. I think that's the 27th, I believe. But the last Thursday in April, Producers Cattle Auction. If you've got some truckload lots of calves that you would want to sell, and you're not familiar with Producers Cattle Auction, we'll help you out and try to market your calves and get the most money, get you the best price that's out there. So other than that, we're just going to keep selling here on Monday and Tuesday, and business as usual. We had some high prices we'd like to report to you. Here's a guy that never misses a day coming to the market, Paco Anuez from right here in Okeechobee. Everybody knows Paco. Good job, Paco, on this really extremely good calf that weighed 220 pounds, and that calf brought $6 a pound, and he was bought by DNS. And on the slaughter cow side, Double Rock Ranch right up the road, right there in Loretta, topped the cow market with a 1,400 pound cow that brought $1.5950. That cow was bought by Florida Beef. That's your market report. Good to be back with you. Thumbs up, subscribe to our channel. We'll keep these reports coming to you. We'll tell you what we think. It could be right, may be wrong, but it's what we think. Thank you. See you next week.